Okay, so does this sound like you? You finally decided to get serious about your fitness and health, decided to drop a few pounds, you started eating better, you started working out, but after weeks, you still haven't lost any weight, or maybe you've even gained some weight, and you're thinking, what's up with this? It's not working. If so, in this video, I'm going to share with you the 3 most likely things that are causing this issue for you and give you actions that you can take today to fix it. Okay, so before we jump into it, quick disclaimer. There are some workouts, some exercises that actually will cause some short-term weight gain. So be conscious of that when you're wondering why things aren't going in the right direction. Those types of things will take maybe about a week or two to shake out, but that's not who we're talking about today. So the first reason for not losing weight on a fitness program is not knowing your calorie intake. What I'm referring to when I say your calorie intake, I'm not necessarily talking about counting calories. What I'm talking about is just having a basic understanding of the caloric content of the foods that you eat. So in order for you to be able to manage your fat loss, you need to be able to know approximately how many calories the foods that you eat and the drinks that you drink actually contain. So you know that, so you understand their impact on your body and your fat gain or fat loss. Where a lot of people get this wrong is they think in terms of, okay, I'm going to choose healthy foods versus non-healthy foods. But um, healthy foods or non-healthy foods are more of a relative things, and we need something that's more objective. For the purposes of fat loss or body composition, we really need to get out of the mindset of healthy foods versus non-healthy foods. We need to think in terms of the calorie content of our food choices. So the way that you can fix this is make sure that you have an understanding of that calorie content by, if it's something that you buy at the store and you have access to a nutrition label, you check that nutrition label, it will give you the serving size, and along with that serving size, it will give you the number of calories per serving. So the one thing I want to make sure I emphasize when it comes to this is you do want to make sure that you look at the serving size amount per the container or whatever. So what I mean is, say you have a container that contains 3 servings of something. If it has 200 calories per serving size, then that means if you drink or eat the whole container, then that's 600 calories. So you can't assume that just because the container says 200 calories, that if I drink the whole container, that it's 200 calories. It's actually 600 calories because it's 3 servings in the container. So for the items that don't actually have a nutrition label, you can look it up. So say it's a banana or something like that. You can basically go in, you can just Google or something and say, you know, the calories for 1 pound bananas or something like that, and it'll spit out a number. Typically, like your typical like large banana is going to be about 100 calories. I just know that by heart because I eat a lot of bananas. But that's valuable information for you to know because every calorie counts, and you need to know if you're eating or drinking something, how many calories it has so that you can account for it. And speaking of accounting, that leads us to number 2 for the most likely reason why you're either gaining weight or not losing weight. And number 2 is because you're not tracking things. If you're going to make sure that you're losing weight, then you need to make sure that your energy output is more than your energy input. The only way that you know that is by tracking as best you can those metrics. Energy output is a little bit harder to do, but energy input is much easier, and that's just you monitoring and measuring the foods that you actually take. So this piggybacks off of step 1. Once you know the caloric value of the foods that you eat and drink, now you can plan your day in such a way, or plan your meals in such a way that you can be more calculated. When you know those numbers for certain foods that you're eating, then you can plan to eat certain foods in certain amounts in a certain time period, say maybe a day, and you can say with confidence, this is the amount of calories that I got on this day. But in order for you to do that, you have to actually account for it. Where a lot of people get mixed up is if they're not actually tracking how much of it they're eating, then you don't have an accurate count. So my suggestion for this is actually to spend at minimum a day, at maximum probably no more than about a week, and just track every single thing that you eat or drink in a day. I don't even care if it's water. I mean, there are no calories in water, but still, make sure that you have a log of every single thing that you eat or drink from the time you wake up to the time that you go to sleep. A lot of us eat a lot of the same foods on a regular basis. It does two things. It helps you to get an accurate number for what your regular daily caloric intake is. And the second thing that it does is with that knowledge, it allows you to be able to see like what types of habits you've built around certain foods. And if you have built habits that you need to either correct or eliminate, then you can take action to do that. So the third reason that you might be gaining weight or at least not losing weight in your fitness journey is that you don't have an accurate count of your energy expenditure. This one is a very, very tricky one to do. And there is no perfect way to track it and know your energy expenditure for sure. But here's what this might look like. Is that you may think that, okay, I get 2,000 calories a day and Chris told me I should be losing weight off 2,000 calories a day, but I'm not losing weight off 2,000 calories a day. If that's the case, that means that you're not burning enough of that energy. That means that your daily activity isn't enough for you to be burning the calories that you're taking in. Now, what do you do about that? What you can do about that is it goes back to our previous step, which was tracking. One easy way to do this, the easiest way I found, is to track your step count. The step count to me is the most dependable, reliable way to be able to kind of gauge your daily activity. My recommendation for step count, if you're trying to lose weight, is somewhere between 8,000 to 12,000 steps. If you want to be an overachiever like I have been in the past, you can shoot for 15,000 steps. 10,000 steps is a very solid, easy round number to shoot for. And most of us have probably already heard that before, as to get 10,000 steps. But what you can do at that point, once you have all this information from these three steps, you can basically trend your weight. And as it's going down, you can take the combination of what your caloric intake has been and what your step count has been, see the difference in your weight, and be able to calculate exactly what caloric intake at what step count will give you X number of pounds lost. So I'll probably do that actual calculation in another video. I just don't want this one to be too long, but that will give you a system that you can follow reliably. But like I said, what it's going to take is you have to be able to spend some time actually tracking and understanding what you're doing. So this does require you to actually do a little bit of homework and understanding yourself. So it's really only for people who are really serious and dedicated about understanding the problem and are actually serious about fixing it. If you found value in this video, I ask that you like, share the content with somebody else who might be able to use it, and subscribe. Also have my coaching link in the description. It's for 100% online coaching. Submit your application. I'll get to it and see if we can partner up and get you some results. I work one-on-one with people who are serious about actually changing their lives. So if that's you, definitely sign up. But until next time, that's all I got. Peace.